is singing in a very sweet voice the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, whatever your situation in life, whether you live in a house, in the forest, you're a grahastha, you're a renunciate sannyasi, whether you're happy or you're sad, go on chanting Hare Krishna. In the Bhagavad-gitā, Krishna says, one who's able to remain steady during all the ups and downs of life by taking shelter of the holy name, eligible to go back to Godhead. Then he says, Maya jale bada hoye, acho miche kaj loye. You're caught in a net and being controlled by Maya. Ekono Caitanya pe Radha Madhava Nam Bolore. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. And he says, you have not used this time to worship Radha Madhava. Then he says, Jivana hoy lo shesh, na baji lehe shikesh. Your life can end at any minute. Ekon. Bhaktivinoda. Upadesh. The advice of Bhaktivinoda. Just one time, try to get the nectar of the holy name. Nam Gai Gaudam Madhukare Nam Gai Ramatushvare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Everybody. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Gai Gaura Madhusvare Nam Gai Gaura Madhusvare Tako bane tako Shadahari bole dako. Everybody, grihe tako bane tako Shadahari bole dako. Suke duke bolo nako varane hari nam korore. Suke duke bolo nako Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Everybody, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Gai Gaura Madhusvare Gai Gaura Madhusvare Maya jale bada hoye acho miche kajloye. Maya jale bada hoye acho miche kajloye. Ekono Caitanya Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nam Gai Madhushware, Nam Gai Madhushware, Madhushware, Jivana hoilo shesh, Nabajile Rishikesh, Jivana hoilo shesh, Nabajile Rishikesh, Bhaktivinoda Parishek Parnam Rashi Madhure Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Parishek Parnam Rashi Madhure. Nam Gai Gaura Madhushware, Nam Gai Gaura Madhushware, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaura Madhushware, Nam Gai Gaura Madhushware, Nam Gai Gaura Madhushware, Gai Gaura Madhushware, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gai Gaura Madhushware, Gai Gaura Madhushware, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Nitai Go Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Tai Go Hari Bo, Tai Go Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Tai Go to Premanande. Was it just me, or was the slideshow stuck in one place? Did you all see the complete thing, or was it just me that saw only part of it?
I also only saw part.
Oh, part of it. Must be a technical difficulty. Okay. Let's see if the rest works. And Mangalacharna 2. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Śrī Gurave Namaha. Śrī Caitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadahmayam Dadati Swapadantikam Aradhana Shridam Danter Idam Yache Puna Puna Shriman Rupa Padamboja Dulisham Janma Janmani. Vandeham Śrī Guru Śrī Yuta Parakamalam Śrī Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Śrī Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Caitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Namashreshtam Manamapi Shachiputram Atraswarupam Shri Rupam Tasya Grajam Uruparim Maturim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramoho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Pratija Kripaya Śrī Gurun Tam Natosmi. He Guru Jnanada Dinabando Swananda Data Kurunaika Sindo Vrindavana Sinahita Avatar Prasida Radha Pranaya Pracharo. He Dinabando Kurunaika Sindo Guru Prasadam Maimanda Mudhe Laksha Parade Bahupa Pagade Tapada Padme Stumatush Krishne Praturshima Navadvipe Dvinetram Dvibhujam Gurum Varabhaya Pradam Shantam Smaritan Nama Purvakam Tvam Gopika Vishraraves Tanayanti Kesi Sevari Karani Guru Nijapad Padme Dasyam Pradaya Kurumam Vrajakanane Shri Radhangri Sevana Rase Sukhinim Sukhabdao Shri Guru Paramananda Premananda Palaprad Vrajananda Pradhananda Sevayamani Ujaya Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Putale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhana Videvi Dayataya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Pravave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gorakishoraya Sakchad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambhara Sampode Padambhujayate Namaha Namo Bhaktivinodaya Sakchidananda Namine Gora Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gora Virabhava Bhomestam Nirdesa Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhoma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Vancha Kulpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratushe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindho, Dinabandho, Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute. Jayatam Suratau Pangor, Mama Manda Matergati, Matsarvaswa, Padambo Jao, Radha Maranamohanao. Divya Vrindaranya Kalpa Durmada, Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanastao, Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devao. Prishtali bi Savyamano Smarami Shri Mandra Sarasadam Bhivam Shivata Tatastita Karshan Venu Swanir Gopir Gopinatha Shri Estunaha 18 Thakur Godiyake Karyachina Atmasad 18 Sharan Vandon Tine Mornad Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vande Nanda Vrajastrinam Padarinam Abhikshnasha Yasam Hari Kato Gitam Punati Bhuvana Trayam Hantayam Adrir Abala Haridasa Varyo Yadrama Krishna Charanasparash Pramodaha Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayos Tayor Yat Paniya Suyavasa Kandana Kandamulai Vrindayai Tulsi Devyai Priyayai Keshavasya Cha Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha Shri Nishinga Jai Nishinga Jai Jai Nishinga Pralada Desha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata Apyutanam Dharmasya Tadatmanam Srajamyaham Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chajuskritam Dharmasam Stapanartaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mami Vaishasi Yukvaivam Atmanam Atparayanaha Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Braja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishami Masuchaha Shushrusho Shadadhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Syan Mahatsevaya Vipra Punyatirtana Shevanat Shrinvatam Sakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Rajantaksto Hipadrani Fitu Noti Suhritsatam Nashra Praeshu Padreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Tara Rajastamo Bhava Kamalo Bhadayascha Ye Chaitaiter Anavitam Stitam Sattve Prasidati Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavat Bhakti Yogataha Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate Vidyate Hridaya Grantishchichante Sarva Samshaya Shiyante Chasya Karmani Drishte Vatmanishvare Malihai Kareshe Bhijarupan Shravana Kirtana Jale Kareshe Chan Tahan Vistarita Hai Pali Prema Pal Ihan Male Sheche Nitya Shravanari Jal Vairagya Vijja Nija Bhakti Yoga Shiksharta Meka Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sharira Dari Kripambudir Yastamaham Prapadye Kala Nashtam Bhakti Yogam Nijam Ja Pradush Kartam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nama Avirbhutastasya Padara Vinde Gadam Gadam Vriyatam Chitrabringa Liyatam Ajanulam Bita Bujo Kandakavatato Sankirtanai Kapitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishvambaro Dvijavaro Jugatarma Palo Vande Jagat Prekaro Karunavataro Chaitanya Krishna Chaitanya Gaurango Nityanayaka Yatinam Dandinam Chaiva Nyasinam Chasharomani Raktambara Dara Shriman Navadvipa Sudhakara Prema Bhakti Pradashchaiva Shri Sachinandanastata Nityanando Vadhur Dendur Vasuda Prana Pallava Janavi Jivatapati Krishna Prema Pradapabu Padmavati Sutta Shriman Sachinandana Purvaja Bhavon Mato Jagatrata Rakta Gora Kalevaram Matsamo Nasti Papa Manaparadi Chikaschana Parihare Pilajjame Kimbruve Purushottama Ivatinam Yata Yuni Yunam Cha Yuvutau Yata Mano Biramate Tadvan Manomera Matantvayi Bhumau Skalita Paranam Bhumir Eva Valambanam Tvayi Jata Paradhanam Tvameva Sharanam Prabho Govinda Balabe Radhe Partaye Tvamaham Sada Tvariyam Iti Janatu Govindo Mam Tvaya Saha Radhe Vrindavanadi She Karunamrta Vahani Kripaya Nijapadabja Tasyamayam Pradiyatam Nitai Namineche Namirhate Shadamunyandam Tite Chere Nite Namineche Namirhate Shadamudyanam Dite Chere. One more time. Nitai Namineche Namirhate Shadamuyanam Dite Chere. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Go Premanande. And now we're continuing with our reading of the Sri Caitanya-caritāmrta, taking up where we left off just yesterday in chapter 1. And since I have no idea where we are, someone can let me know, and I'll be right back after station identification.
Prameya, Prabhu was muted.
Haribol, who is doing Prabhu looks like he's muted. Can you unmute?
I think it's Aprameya.
Hare Krishna. I think Prabhu muted himself. He's searching
Okay.
for the verse, I think. Have it on.
Okay. Okay.
We had to pause for a word from our sponsors who encourage us to sign up as a monthly donor here at ISV. It's important to give donations because the money's going to go away anyway. And if you do it monthly, then ISV can plan ahead for so many different projects because they have a good base from which to judge how much they'll have every month, and not only get necessary loans for new properties and so forth. So we urge you during this station identification break to become a monthly donor of ISV. Thank you for considering our request. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhakta Das Raghunath. My instructing spiritual masters are Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatan Goswami, Shri Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Goswami, Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Nitai Naminiche. Chai Guru, Shikha Guru e Amar, Je Amar, Tan Sabhara Para Padme Koti Namaskar. These 6 are my instructing spiritual masters, and therefore I offer millions of respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet. Purport. By accepting the 6 Goswamis as his instructing spiritual masters, the author specifically makes it clear that one should not be recognized as a Gaudiya Vaishnava if he is not obedient to them. Yes, this is a very important point. There are a class of people who eschew the reading of the books of the Goswamis. They accuse Jiva Goswami of being too philosophical, too close to Gyan. But actually, Tashchadadana munayo gyana vairagya yuktaya pashantyatmani chatmanam bhaktya shruta grihitaya. The practice of pure devotional service should be fortified with the understanding of Shastra, the most important of which are the books given by the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Text 38. Bhagavanera bhakta jata Shrivas pradhan Tan Shabara Pada Padmi Sahasra Pranam. There are innumerable devotees of the Lord, of whom Srivas Thakur is the foremost. I offer my respectful obeisances thousands of times unto their lotus feet. 39. Advaita Acharya Prabhur Angsha Avatar Tar Pada Pade Padme Koti Pranati Amar. Advaita Acharya is the Lord's partial incarnation, and therefore offer my obeisances millions of times at his lotus feet. Nityananda Roy Prabhur Shwarup Prakash Tar Pada Padma Bando Jaramui Das. Srila Nityananda Ram is the plenary manifestation of the Lord, and I have been initiated by him. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. Gadadhara Panditari Prabhur Nija Shakti Tan Shabara Charani Mor Sahasra Pranati. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the internal potencies of the Lord, of whom Śrī Gadadhar Prabhu is the foremost. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Swayam Bhagavan Tahar Padara Vinde Ananta Pranam. Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the personality of God in himself, and therefore I offer innumerable prostrations at his lotus feet. Savarani Prabhure Kariya Namaskar Echai Teho Jache Kare Vichar. Having offered obeisances unto the Lord and all his associates, I shall now try to explain these 6 diversities in one. Purport. There are many unalloyed devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all of whom are considered associates surrounding the Lord. Krishna should be worshipped with his devotees. The diverse principles are therefore the eternal paraphernalia through which the absolute truth can be approached. Yajyapi amara guru Caitanya Das tatapi janiye ami tahar prakash. Although I know that my spiritual master is a servitor of Sri Chaitanya, I know him also as a plenary manifestation of the Lord. Purport. Every living entity is essentially a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the spiritual master is also his servant. Still, the spiritual master is a direct manifestation of the Lord. With this conviction, a disciple can advance in Krishna consciousness. The spiritual master is non-different from Krishna because he is a manifestation of Krishna. Lord Nityananda, who is Balaram himself, the first direct manifestation or expansion of Krishna, is the original spiritual master. He helps Lord Krishna in his pastimes, and he is a servant of the Lord. Every living entity is eternally a servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Therefore, the spiritual master cannot be other than a servant of Lord Chaitanya. The spiritual master's eternal occupation is to expand the service of the Lord by training disciples in a service mood, in a service attitude, rather. A spiritual master never poses as the Supreme Lord himself. He is considered a representative of the Lord. The revealed scriptures prohibit one's pretending to be God, but a bona fide spiritual master is a most faithful and confidential servant of the Lord, and therefore deserves as much respect as Krishna. So Prabhupada oftentimes gave the example of a viceroy, the representative of the king. And absent the king coming to town, which is a big deal and hard to arrange, when the viceroy comes, everyone would give respect to the viceroy the same as it was for the king, because he's representing. And similarly, when somebody has power of attorney, for instance, from a modern company, if you're waiting for them, they offer that person all respect when he comes or she comes to conduct some business, make some communication. They give all facility to such a person, knowing that here's the representative of the company. That person may be an ordinary person and goes home, or she goes home to family and eats, spaghetti out of a can. But the fact is that, when they're representing the company, they're given the respect of the company. It goes, whatever people say to the company goes back to the representative, goes back to the company, and so forth. Guru Krishna Rupa Hoy Hana Shastrera Pramani Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Karina Bhaktagani. According to the deliberate opinion of all revealed scriptures, the spiritual master is non-different from Krishna. Lord Krishna, in the form of the spiritual master, delivers his devotees. Purport: the relationship of a disciple with his spiritual master is as good as his relationship with the Supreme Lord. A spiritual master always represents himself as the humblest servitor of the personality of Godhead, but the disciple must look upon him as the manifested representation of Godhead. Acharya vam vijaniyan navamanyeta karichit namartya bhutya suyeta namartya buddhya suyeta sarvadeva mayo guru. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is a representative of all the demigods. Purport: this is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 11, 17, 27. Spoken by Lord Krishna when he was questioned by Uddhava regarding the four social and spiritual orders of society. The Lord was specifically instructing how a brahmachari should behave under the care of a spiritual master. A spiritual master is not an enjoyer of facilities offered by his disciples. He is like a parent. Without the attentive service of his parents, a child cannot grow to manhood. Similarly, without the care of the spiritual master, one cannot rise to the plane of transcendental service. The spiritual master is also called Acharya, or a transcendental professor of spiritual science. The Manu Samhita explains the duties of an Acharya, describing that a bona fide spiritual master accepts charge of disciples, teaches them the Vedic knowledge with all its intricacies, and gives them their second birth. The ceremony performed to initiate a disciple into the study of spiritual science is called upaniti, or the function that brings one nearer the spiritual master. One who cannot be brought nearer to a spiritual master cannot have a sacred thread, and thus he is indicated to be a Shudra. The sacred thread on the body of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya is a symbol of initiation by the spiritual master. It is worth nothing if worn merely to boast of high parentage. The duty of the spiritual master is to initiate a disciple with the sacred thread ceremony, and after this sanskara, or purificatory process, the spiritual master actually begins to teach the disciple about the Vedas. A person born a Shudra is not barred from such spiritual initiation, provided he is approved by the spiritual master, who is duly authorized to award a disciple the right to be a Brahmana if he finds him perfectly qualified. In the Vayu Purana, an Acharya is defined as one who knows the import of all the Vedic literatures, abides by their rules and regulations, and teaches his disciples to act in the same way. Only out of his immense compassion does the personality of Godhead reveal himself as the spiritual master. Therefore, in the dealings of an Acharya, there are no activities but those of transcendental loving service to the Lord. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Servitor Godhead. It is worthwhile to take shelter of such a steady devotee, who is called Ashraya Vigraha, or the manifestation or form of the Lord, of whom one must take shelter. If one poses himself as an Acharya but does not have an attitude of servitorship to the Lord, he must be considered an offender, and this offensive attitude disqualifies him from being an Acharya. The bona fide spiritual master always engages in unalloyed devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By this test, he is known to be a direct manifestation of the Lord and a genuine representative of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Such a spiritual master is known as Acharya Dev. influenced by an envious temperament and dissatisfied because of an attitude of sense gratification, mundaners criticize a real acharya. In fact, however, a bona fide acharya is non-different from the personality of Godhead, and therefore to envy such an acharya is to envy the personality of Godhead himself. This will produce an effect subversive of transcendental realization. As mentioned previously, a disciple should always respect the spiritual master as a manifestation of Sri Krishna, but at the same time, one should always remember that a spiritual master is never authorized to imitate the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. False spiritual masters pose themselves as identical with Sri Krishna in every respect to exploit the sentiments of their disciples. But such impersonalists can only mislead their disciples, for their ultimate aim is to become one with the Lord. This is against the principles of the devotional cult. The real Vedic philosophy is Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva, which establishes everything to be simultaneously one with and different from the personality of Godhead. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami confirms that this is the real position of a bona fide spiritual master, and says that one should always think of the spiritual master in terms of his intimate relationship with Mukunda, Sri Krishna. Srila Jiva Goswami in his Bhakti Sandarbha has clearly explained that a pure devotee's observation of the spiritual master and Lord Shiva as being one with the personality of Godhead exists in terms of their being very dear to the Lord, not identical with him in all respects. Following in the footsteps of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami and Srila Jiva Goswami, later acharyas like Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur have confirmed the same truths. In his prayers to the spiritual master, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur confirms that all the revealed scriptures accept the spiritual master to be identical with the personality of Godhead because he is a very dear and confidential servant of the Lord. Gaudiya Vaishnavas therefore worship Srila Gurudev, the spiritual master, in the light of his being the servitor of the personality of Godhead. In all the ancient literatures of devotional service and in the more recent songs of Srila Narottam Das Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and other unalloyed Vaishnavas, the spiritual master is always considered either one of the confidential associates of Srimati Radharani or a manifested representation of Srila Nityananda Prabhu. And now, let's see if we have any questions to illuminate the conversation or expand it in meaningful ways. Okay, so let's check here from our Facebook feed, courtesy of Madhava Prema Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, Hare Krishna.
Guru Maharaj, I just have a question about that last purport.
Yes.
How do we understand that in the proper perspective? Because, I feel like there could be a potential of developing like a sahajiya tendency with this point about one of the confidential associates of Srimati Radharani. How do we understand that principle and see it in the right perspective?
Well, Srila Prabhupada gave a purport to the verse Nikunjayuno Ratikeli Siddhai Yayali Bir Yuktir Apekshaniya Trati Dakshad Atibhalabasya Govindama. He Vande Guru Shri Charanada Vindam, in which he describes how those who are following their spiritual master and fully engaged in distributing Krishna consciousness are considered to be in that category of devotees who are very dear to Srimati Radharani, as they're in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Just in the Bhagavad-gitā, she sends her representative Gopakumar to come to the world in order to bring back, one of the dear jivas who she wants to come back to Godhead, and there's this mood of compassion. So Prabhupada describes it in terms of very practical ways. And in other places, Prabhupada gives similar kinds of ideas about those who are fully engaged in the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, saying that we shouldn't consider just the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be Nitya Siddha, but even those who are engaged fully in the service of Lord Chaitanya in the modern times to also be liberated souls. So he gives a very uncomplicated answer to that mood of understanding how it is that one could see a spiritual master in that way. How to avoid sentimentality? By seeing through the eyes of Scripture and understanding in terms of what's given as the definition of someone who's advanced in devotional service. For instance, in the Upadeshamrita, when Prabhupada describes Uttama Adhikari, although there are various descriptions, Uttama Adhikari is a very generic term. It's not something very, very specific. In various scriptures, the Uttam, Madhyam, and Kanishta, which are just generally saying topmost, middle, and beginner, are described in different ways and are defined in different ways. And within those categories, as in a lot of the Indic literatures, there are many, many subcategories as well. And just to name a few, there's a Kanishta, Madhyam Kanishta, and Uttam Kanishta, and then there's a Kanishta, Madhyam. We go on from there. There are many, many combinations and permutations. And in the Upadeshamrita, Prabhupada describes verifiable ways in order to see somebody who's advanced in devotional service. One of them is that such a person is always engaged in teaching Krishna consciousness, thinking, Prabhupada says, 24 hours a day how to spread the Krishna consciousness movement. And it's steadily engaged in the process of sadhana. These are verifiable, whereas if you try to understand somebody's intimate internal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's not verifiable by us. I hope that helps.
That was amazing. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
You're quite welcome. Thank you for asking. Kamala said that her favorite song, Gai Gora Madhusvari, brings joy to her heart and tears to her eyes at the same time. That's good. Alex says it is like a title, Acharya, or every spiritual master is Acharya, or it can be bought. Bought? I'm not sure what you mean by that. But Acharya means one who teaches by example. And then, of course, there are various acharyas with a capital A that we talk about who are prominent pure devotees from the Sampradaya who are obviously empowered by the Lord. And Vamshuli, how to overcome. So every teacher is an acharya. Can the title be bought? I'm not sure what that means, but I'm sure one could try, and it's been done before. How to overcome succumbing to one's false ego when it does not allow us to follow and serve Guru's instructions. Oh, yes. So, well, we should be sincere, and we should try to hear what Krishna has to say in the Bhagavad-gitā. And we should hear what the spiritual master says. And by sincerely hearing and trying to implement the instructions, even if at first we're not able to, then gradually we'll be empowered to do so. It's not so easy in the beginning because we may be overcome by various other kinds of influences. Bali Mardan Prabhu, I think you were about to ask a question or give a point.
Yes, Prabhuji. First of all, please accept my humble obeisances, all the devotees. We have a very nice reading from the Guru is the Krishna's manifestation and not different. But I have two questions. One is a letter from Srila Prabhupada to Dayananda Prabhu in 1969. He mentions that Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj is not Diksha Guru, is not Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He received Siksha. And similarly, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur Shiksha Guru. So our sampradaya is a kind of siksha. When the immediate two acharyas had established such kind of example, so what is the necessity for currently to people to inspire for diksha instead of siksha? So why not at siksha train is also equally given value rather than we give a kind of a siksha perspective?
Well, both those acharyas took diksha also. So it's not that they, just because we're Srila Bhaktisiddhānta as naming the prominent shiksha gurus, in many cases the shiksha and the diksha guru named are the same. And in some cases there's a difference because they work as a team, really. And then you could ask the question, which is more important, those planting the seed or watering the seed? So the diksha guru, that's why you only need one diksha guru. The diksha guru gives the mantras. This is the duty of the diksha guru to hand over the mantra, and that's like planting the seed. And then the duty of the shiksha guru is to explain how to chant the mantra.
Stop it, Ryan.
This is
Okay, Ryan.
Can you make mute to Arti Mataji?
So, so this is not this is no anomaly. This is also even in the modern day, you may have a diksha guru. This is the case in, like I was talking to Krishna Kshetra Maharaj. He's very busy with. He initiates disciples, give diksha, but he said to me that. If somebody wants to take diksha, he said, yeah, first of all, line yourself up with a shiksha guru. He said, because I won't have time. I'm doing academic pursuits, and therefore, we could work together and you can have a shiksha guru to help you, but I will give you the mantra because the person was attached to him, or many people were, but he told them the same thing. So this is not unusual. And this is, we heard earlier in this chapter, the shiksha guru and the diksha guru are respected on an equal level, although they have different functions.
So in terms of, let's say, the three aspects, Guru, Shastra, Sadhu, Tritiya, Kariya, Ekya, that means one should concentrate these three into one mind. So in terms of giving priority, let's say, somebody is in trouble to understand a concept of spiritual understanding. So what should be the more priority given in terms of Shastra or Guru or to the sadhus to get a conclusion?
Well, think of it more like when you're trying to draw a line that's straight in geometry, then you need three, well, at least two, but three's even better, 3 dots on the page, and then you can connect them. So they're all interconnected and they support one another. So there's a way in which by Krishna's mercy one gets guru, and the guru really is the representative of the Shastra, living representative. So there's the book Bhagavata and the person Bhagavata. And the book Bhagavata and the person Bhagavata are the same, except for the person Bhagavata can interact with you more directly and give you some instruction or chastise or encourage you in certain ways that the passive agent, which is the Bhagavat, the book, doesn't do. I mean, it does. We get inspired, but it's not the same as the living personality who represents the book. So then, of course, we need help from all different directions in order to get out of the material world. And therefore, one takes help from all of these, and the literal meaning of the word to triangulate, which means to use 3 points to come into a direction that is that one is seeking, applies here in Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So all three should be consulted. And I noticed that those who are advanced devotees learn how to rely on all three of these sources. And sometimes you rely on one more than the other. For instance, even in reading Shastra, even you say, okay, we just read Prabhupada's purports, but at the same time, there may be many questions in between each paragraph. You say, what does this mean? What does that mean? And what's the history? How does that work? And then fortunately, like in a very practical way, right now in ISKCON, there's still people walking around and speaking that heard directly from Prabhupada. Like oftentimes you read something, even in Prabhupada's books, and then you could say, well, what does that mean? For instance, I'll give you an example. You ask Giriraj Maharaj something, and then he'll always say, oh yes, I was with Prabhupada and he said this about this particular circumstance. And you get a nuance that you don't get just by reading the book. And so these things all together give us a composite so that we're fortified and able to go very, with great confidence on the path of devotional service. What else, Bali Mardan Prabhu?
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thanks for enlightening every day.
Thank you very much for being there at the
Hare
beach.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Please go ahead.
Did somebody speak or I can ask?
Shamalangi, you're up.
Okay.
High goes
So-
the runner.
Okay, in the text 43 purport, we just read that Lord Krishna should be worshipped with his devotees. And then there's a sentence, the diverse principles are therefore the eternal paraphernalia through which the absolute truth can be approached. So what is meant by the diverse principles here?
Okay, text 43.
Yeah.
And it's the last paragraph?
Yeah. There's a short paragraph, I think.
Oh, 43. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Krishna should be worshipped with his devotees. The diverse principles are therefore the eternal paraphernalia through which the absolute truth can be approached. There's on the other page too. Having offered obeisances unto the Lord and all his associates, I shall now try to explain these six diversities in one. So here, what he's mentioning is the diversities that he just led up to that verse. So he says, he talks about the various gurus, and then he talks specifically about Srivas, Gadadhar, Advaita, Nityananda, and all together. These are diversities in one. So we say the Panchatattva is the supreme absolute truth, but in 5 features. That was one of the first books that Prabhupada produced for mass distribution about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu right after the TLC. It's called Lord Chaitanya in 5 Features. I think I still have that copy somewhere. And so that's the meaning, the diversities. There's more coming in here. Ananda Vrindavan says, Hare Krishna, how do we understand that one's guru is eternal, life after life? That means, would the spiritual master take birth again if one disciple has not gone back to Godhead? It does mean that, so you better go back to Godhead. Don't make your guru come back for you. And then let's see. Govinda, there can only be one Diksha Guru, but sometimes we get Harinam Diksha from one Guru, but that Guru passes away and we take Gayatri Diksha from another Guru. In that case, do we have 2 Diksha Gurus? No, that's a special case. So the Guru, it's very practical. If there's no, if your Diksha Guru is not able to give you the other mantras, then you can get them from somebody else. However, if your guru is already present, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirms this in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. He was asked, I think by Gadadhar Pandit, to re-give him the Gayatri mantras, and he said, no, it'd be an offense. You should get them from Pundarik Vid. No, the other way around. In any case, Mahaprabhu confirmed that giving away mantras again when the guru is still present is an offense. So if you got Harinam initiation from someone and your Harinam guru passes away, then you can get your Diksha mantras, the Gayatri mantras and other Gaudiya Vaishnava mantras from another guru. That's not considered to have 2 Diksha gurus. And even sometimes when the Harinam guru is present and that guru there may be some agreement that you take a Diksha from someone else. That's take the other mantras from someone else. Can you please, this is from Prem Dham. Yes, Prabhu. Yes,
Hare Krishna
Yogesh?
Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam. Śrīla Prabhupada. I remembered the story of.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I remembered the story of one of the Vaishnava saint from Maharashtra. His name was Saint Namdev, and Lord Vittal came to his dream saying that if you want to get me and if you want to really understand me, and you need to get a guru first. Without that, I will not be able to meet you or see you. And then he was given a path by other Vaishnava devotees to find a right guru so that he gets the darshan of Lord Vittal.
Well, there you have it. More pramanam. Thank you, Yogesh. That was very sweet. Prem Dham to everyone. It says, can you please explain what does liberated exactly mean? How to understand that we are liberated just by trying to serve Mahaprabhu sincerely? I feel myself entangled in the material world. Iha yasya haridasye karmana manasa gira nikila apyavastastu jivan muktas sa uchate. Rupa Goswami includes this verse in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It says that if one is engaging body, mind, and iha yasya, even in this world, even in this body, iha yasya harir dasye, one serving the Lord, iha yasya harir dasye karmana manasa gira, with your activities, with your mind, with your words. Nikila apyavastastu jivan muktasu uchite, such a person, even while in the material body, is considered to be liberated. The reason is because when there's full contribution, Krishna says, to the service of the Lord, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir Brahmagnau Brahmanohutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavya Brahmakarma Samadhina. Then one's so-called material body and conditioning becomes transcendentalized. And Krishna says, Brahma says in the Brahma Samhita, that Yas Twindra Gopa Matavendra Mahosa Karma Bandhanu Rupa Palabhajana Matanoti Karmani Nirdahati Kintu Chapakti Bhajam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. And that is, for those devotees who are engaged in pure devotional service, their karma is being destroyed. This is also echoed in the Padma Purana, which says that Aprabradam palam papam kutam bijam palon mukam krami naiva praliyante Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. That is, all the different forms of karma are destroyed. This is the conditioning of the living being, is because of previous karma, and then the samskars that they create within the mind through which one identifies oneself with the material body. These all become destroyed by the process of Vishnu Bhakti. And the example is given of liberation, although one may be just beginning on the path of devotional service, and therefore may say, oh, I feel like a conditioned soul. To some degree, we may still be attached to the remnants of our material life, and in which case, the acharyas have given this example that there's a ripe mango or a green mango. Both are mangoes, but one is ripe and the other is green. So in the beginning, when you take to devotional service, you're considered a liberated soul because you're on the path of liberation. Even Krishna says, Apichet sudaracharo, bhajite mamananyapak, sadureva samantavya, samyag vyavasito hisa. He says, even if the person still has some worldliness, if they are engaged in the process of devotional service, they are to be considered sadhu. And this means someone who's liberated. But he goes on to say that Shri Prambhavati Taramatma Shashvas Shantim Nagachati Konteya Pratijanihi Nambi Bhakti Pranashati. The process of devotional service is so powerful. If one is properly situated in that way, then very soon it'll come to the perfect stage. So you're either a green mango or a ripe mango, but a mango is a mango. There's more to say about that. And that I will say a couple more things. One is when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was speaking to Sanatana Goswami and to Haridas Thakur, and Sanatan was feeling embarrassed because his body had oozing sores on it. And Mahaprabhu kept embracing him. And Sanatan felt like he wanted to commit suicide because of that. Mahaprabhu understood his mind. No one told him, but Mahaprabhu said, I forbid you to commit suicide because your body you've given to me. And then he turned to Haridas Thakur and said, what is the character of a person who takes the property of another and then destroys it? And then in their discussion, Mahaprabhu explained that when somebody takes the process of devotional service, takes to bhajana kriya, takes initiation, and dedicates him or herself fully to the process, then although you may not have a fully liberated body, you have what's called a sadhaka deha, means a practitioner's body. It's the body of one who's going to attain perfection very soon. But there's no doubt about it. For those who are chanting Hare Krishna very seriously and practicing the process of devotional service, the Bhagavatam confirms in this way. The two verses from the third canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, spoken by Devahuti. There's one, Yanama Deha Shravanad Kirtanad, Yet Pravanad Yet Smaranad Api Kuchit, Shradhopi Sadhya Savanaya Kalpate, Punakrudas. Sorry, I blew the last line. This verse says that for one who's engaged in this process of bhakti, hearing, chanting, remembering, and so on, then even if the person comes from a low body, a very abominable body like a shrapacha, somebody who's a dog eater, that person's body becomes liberated enough so that she could perform Vedic sacrifice, which means that they've attained the position in which the karma has been reversed. And she says, furthermore, Aho bata shrapachato gariyan yajiva grevartate nama tubhyam te pusta paste juhuvusasna arya brahmanachur nama granantiete. How wonderful it is that somebody who's chanting Hare Krishna is in a liberated situation, even if they're just doing it a little bit. So the process of devotional service is very powerful. So I hope that helps. Prem Dam, that's some evidence. Dayanidhi Prabhu said sometimes we might consider a godbrother as a Shiksha Guru. One hand, we want to see them as good as God, but don't want the friendship we have to be too formal. How to navigate that relationship? Well, it's the different moods of relationships with Guru in the first place are described in the Shastra. This Vishramba. There should be a sense of friendship with the Guru. Vishramba means, you can see this word Vishramba also with Krishna with his friends in Vrindavan. They have kind of natural, friendly affection for one another. And then the other sentiment is that one should have some sense of the position and that this person's a representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that one shouldn't neglect one or the other. Both have to be there. So there's this example given in one of the Puranas about relationship with the Guru, so that it's like fire. And so you don't want to get too far away. So if you get too far away, you don't get any heat. If you get too,
Wait.
but if you get too close, then you get burned. Oh, good, Prem Dam. I hope you like that. Hare Krishna. Thank you. I'm glad you like that. Okay, So are there any other from Zoom that anybody'd like to comment?
Maharaj.
Yes?
So the words, Srimad Bhagavatam verse 11, 17, 27, it cautions the disciple to be very careful. We cannot consider Guru as an ordinary, he is the manifestation of all the demigods, it says. Acharya Mam, Vijaniyan, Navamanyeta Karhichid, Namartya Buddhya Asuyetaha, Sarvadeva Mayo Guru. I just wanted to add this.
Yes, that was in the purport as well. Prabhupada cited that verse. Acharya mam vijaniyam nabhamanyeta karichit. Don't envy the Guru as a representative of Krishna. Thank you. Any others from the Zoom room? Okay, let's see the next installment. Of Caitanya-caritāmrta, that is. Shiksha Guru ke ta jani Krishnera sarup antaryami bhakta shreshta e dui rup. One should know the instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Krishna. Lord Krishna manifests himself as the super soul and as the greatest devotee of the Lord. Purport. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami states that the instructing spiritual master is a bona fide representative of Śrī Krishna. Śrī Krishna himself teaches us as the instructing spiritual master from within and without. From within, he teaches as Paramatma, our constant companion, and from without, he teaches from the Bhagavad-gitā as the instructing spiritual master. There are two kinds of instructing spiritual masters. One is the liberated person fully absorbed in meditation in devotional service. And the other is he who invokes the disciple's spiritual consciousness by means of relevant instructions. Thus, the instructions in the science of devotion are differentiated in terms of the objective and subjective ways of understanding. The Acharya, in the true sense of the term, who is authorized to deliver Krishna, enriches the disciple with full spiritual knowledge and thus awakens him to the activities of devotional service. When by learning from the spiritual master, the self-realized spiritual master, one actually engages himself in the service of Lord Vishnu, functional devotional service begins. The procedures of this devotional service are known as abhidheya, or actions one is duty-bound to perform. Our only shelter is the Supreme Lord, and one who teaches how to approach Krishna is the functioning form of the personality of Godhead. There's no difference between the shelter-giving Supreme Lord and the initiating and instructing spiritual masters. If one foolishly discriminates between them, he commits an offense in the discharge of devotional service. Srila Sanatana Goswami is the ideal spiritual master, for he delivers one the shelter of the lotus feet of Madan Mohan. Even though one may be unable to travel on the field of Vrindavan due to forgetfulness of his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can get an adequate opportunity to stay in Vrindavan and derive all spiritual benefits by the mercy of Sanatana Goswami. Srila Govindaji acts exactly like the Shiksha Guru instructing spiritual master by teaching Arjuna the Bhagavad-gitā. He is the original preceptor, for he gives us instructions and an opportunity to serve him. The initiating spiritual master is a personal manifestation of Srila Madan Mohan Vigraha, whereas the instructing spiritual master is a personal representative of Srila Govindadev Vigraha. Both these deities are worshipped at Vrindavan. Srila Gopinath is the ultimate attraction in spiritual realization. And this next verse is from Sri Uddhava. Naivopayantya pachitin kavayasta vesha brahmayushakri kritam riddam udasvaranta vyontarabahistanu bratam ashubhan vadunvan acharya chaitya vapusha svagatim vyanakti. O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as a supersoul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. This verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 11:29-6 was spoken by Sri Uddhava after he heard from Sri Krishna all necessary instructions about yoga. So last opportunity before we wrap things up for any final questions to bring out more from the reading or the conversation we've had so far.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
I had a question from the purport we read before, verse 48 about the 47th purport. I was wondering why the initiating spiritual master is Madan Mohan and while Shiksha Guru is Govinda. I was a little confused about that.
Well, you remember how the three phases of Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan are three divisions on the path of devotional service. So this Sambandha means developing the relationship. So the initiating spiritual master helps us through the Diksha process to establish our relationship with Krishna. And then Abhideya, which means to act in the ways of devotional service, to perform the services. The Shiksha Guru gives instructions of how to do that. When we get the mantra, it helps us to come closer to Krishna, develop our relationship with him. And then the instructing spiritual master, which can be the same as we heard earlier, Prabhupada wrote in the 34th verse purport. He said in the last paragraph, the shiksha, generally somebody gives, second to last paragraph. He said that generally one who gives shiksha then becomes the diksha guru later on. That's pretty common. So it's not that they have to be two separate personalities, right? But the point is that for Govindadev, then one's developing one's relationship. How do you develop a relationship? Through service. It becomes intensified through that service, active service. And so from the instructions of the Guru of how to serve Krishna. For instance, you hear in the Gurvashtakam, there are many points, Shri Vigrahara Dharanityanana Shringaratan Mandira Marjanado Yuktasya Bhaktam Chaniyunjatopi Vande Guroshi Charanaravindam. So that verse is glorifying the spiritual master, saying the spiritual master teaches his disciples how to perform deity worship. And then when you perform deity worship, you're coming closer to Krishna in that relationship in a very practical way. So the Shiksha Guru is like that. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good. Thanks for the question. Yes?
So Maharaj, in the Caitanya-caritāmrta, it is mentioned that about the Diksha Guru many verses. So according to our current initiation concept in ISKCON, where we have Harinam initiation, then we have Brahmin initiation. So is both of these applicable for the Diksha process mentioned there, or it's specifically mentioning the Brahman or the mantra initiation?
Generally, it's a point of contention, but Prabhupada mentions mantra diksha. Actually, there's verified shastric evidence about how accepting the holy name from a guru is very important, because although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Caitanya-caritāmrta, you'll find that he says that the holy name doesn't wait for initiation, because it's an open mantra. most initiation mantras are held secret because you have to be qualified to accept them. Otherwise, it really profanes the process. And so, you have to qualify yourself through purushcharana, purificatory activities, so that you're actually ready to take the mantra. That's why Prabhupada said earlier that the student gets the mantra when the guru says the student's ready. Because the guru is supposed to look and see, is this person actually advancing? The holy name, anybody can start chanting. In fact, we go out and teach everybody, chant Hare Krishna. There's no bar to that. But actually, when one becomes serious about the process of chanting Hare Krishna and does it with a vow, evam vratasva priyanama kirtya jatana raghojita chuta ucher, hasatito rotiti roti gayati unmadavam rititi lokabaya. This is a verse that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master taught to Mahaprabhu. He said, evam vrata, when you make a vow to chant Hare Krishna, then you make great progress in the process. And so all our acharyas have indicated this, the importance of this. For instance, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in his commentary to the 6th canto of the Bhagavatam and the story of Ajamil, that if there's a Vaishnav guru that can give you the Mahamantra, you can hear it from that person and take shelter and say, I'm chanting under you. Then, he said, then you'll make rapid progress. And Haridas Thakur says that also in the Harinam Chintamani. Then you can come to the perfection of chanting. Partly because you'll also ostensibly be getting this Sambandha Gyan from the Guru at the same time, which Haridas Thakur says is really important in order to perfect the chanting. In any case, as I said the other day, I think, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, if there is a guru who can give you Harinam, initiation, but you don't accept it from a guru, you just say, I'll be on my own. He said, then you're committing the third offense in against the holy name by disobeying the orders of the spiritual master. So taking a Vaishnav, a guru for chanting the holy name is important, but the Diksha mantras are there to intensify the chanting of Hare Krishna. Because chanting of the holy names, the Maha Mantra, is the delivering process. The holy name delivers us from the material world and brings us even to the perfection of devotional service, to the Rag Marg. That's confirmed by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the last song that he writes in the Sharanagati. He tells how the holy name himself, personified, takes him by the hand back to the spiritual world and introduces him to his relationship with Krishna. So there's nothing else needed but the holy name. But then we do need a second initiation, because Jiva Goswami says that in the age of Kali Yuga, people are too impure to perfectly chant the holy name without offenses, unless you also get the Pancharatric initiation, which we call sometimes second initiation. And through Pancharatric initiation, you get this intimate connection and purification through practicing deity worship, and also through chanting these mantras 3 times a day, that qualify you more to chant the holy name purely. And that's how you get delivered. So both things are important, and both things can be verified, that both are considered worthy of taking initiation, or necessary to take initiation, and based on the things I just said. I hope that helps.
Yes, Maharaj, thank you.
It did, but I can tell you had some reservations still.
No, it's, I got clarified. Thank you so much.
Okay. Mayapur Bihari Prabhu, go ahead.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, regarding the Siksha Guru, of course, we have it's very easy, at least for me. Of course, nothing compares to the Diksha Guru and God, the Prabhupada disciples. It's very natural for us to respect them, especially. But, mentality for Siksha Guru when it comes to our, let's say, the next generation, our God siblings, where the mind treats them that we are, at our level, but actually they are our Siksha Guru. Sometimes in my case, at least, I have learned much more from some of these devotees, although they may have never given a single lecture in their life, through their actions or through their interactions with me. And sometimes, at least in my mind, I feel more respect or more as a Siksha Guru for them, rather than, and I'm talking at our God brother level. So rather than those who may have been giving lectures or teaching Shastra. So when say Siksha, so in that case, is it a wrong sort of a thinking, or why am I not able to? I mean, of course, but my mind tends to go more with actions rather than just preaching or yeah.
Yeah, so there's a story in the Bhaktisiddhānta by Bhav, the story about Srila Bhaktisiddhānta's life. If you haven't read it, I recommend everybody read it. It's by His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Maharaj. And therein, there's a story about a very highly educated, well-to-do person in Calcutta who came across Srila Bhaktisiddhānta's exalted disciples who were preaching around the area. And he became very attracted to them. And he thought, oh, I want to be like them. I want to give my life to, and I want to be just like them. Because it's very attractive when you see, highly qualified people who have developed Krishna consciousness and can articulate it as well. So he came to the mutt, and the devotees introduced him to Srila Bhaktisiddhānta, this intelligent young person, and he said, he offers respects to Srila Bhaktisiddhānta, and he said, please, I want to become like these disciples I met. I want to follow and become like that. Could you please instruct me? And Srila Bhaktisiddhānta told him to go and take Shiksha from Gopal Das, one who was part of the mutt. And he said, okay, I'll follow your instructions. And he went out to try to find the Gopal. So he kept asking, where do I find Gopal Das? And they pointed this way, that way. He finally found himself in a field going towards a gardening shed. And he got there and he asked the gardener inside there, I'm trying to find Gopal Das. And Gopal Das, who was actually the gardener and the groundskeeper, said, oh, yeah, I'm Gopal. And this man said to himself, oh, I understand. Maharaj is trying to teach me something. So he went back. He said, thank you for teaching me this lesson. And I appreciate that you sent me out there to be humble. And Srila Bhaktisiddhānta said, did you take shelter of him? Did you take shiksha from him? And he said, no, you really want me to do that? He said, that's why I told you. So he went back there, and the man began to spend time with Gopal Das, and he saw his selfless service attitude. And he was not a big literary person, but he cleaned the grounds, he did the gardening, and he would sit very faithfully and hear Srila Bhaktisiddhānta. And as we've seen other examples, the only person in ISKCON whose disappearance day we celebrate officially, because Prabhupada deemed it before he left, is Jayananda Prabhu. Mm-hmm. And he was, I knew Jayananda Prabhu well. He was my Bhakti leader when I joined here in San Francisco. And of course, he taught me some Shastra, like he taught me to chant the Sri Shapanishad and things like that. But he wasn't a big literary scholar. But everybody knew he was an extremely advanced devotee because of the way he lived and the way he did his services 24 hours a day. He was obviously selfless in his mood towards serving Srila Prabhupada. And so, yes, even there's 24 gurus for the Avaduta Brahman. And King Yadu said, where are all your gurus? And he pointed out, the prostitute and the arrow maker and that mountain and the tree. And Krishna says in that section, he's the one telling the story. He says to Uddhava that if you purify your buddhi, your intelligence, then you can get shiksha from your own intelligence. And you can get shiksha from every part of the environment once you're seeing clearly. So your observation that you feel inspired in a particular way is very apt. And that brings us to the end of today's program, but we have one more message from our sponsor today, and that is that we encourage everyone to become a monthly donor of ISKCON Silicon Valley, because even if it's a small amount, everyone giving a little bit on a regular basis makes for stability in the organization. And I highly recommend that you enter into this process in a way that you can continue to do it in perpetuity, because it gives a kind of stability to the organization. And you can see one of our devotees who are in charge of this to sign up, and I highly recommend it. And we thank everybody for joining, especially Lakshmi Prabhu. Who dat?
Prabhuji, this is Srivas Pandit here.
Srivas Pandit Prabhu. Hare Krishna. My obeisances.
My obeisances, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. I don't know if you have time to take this question, or I can take it offline. So it is entirely your prerogative if you want to take it now or later.
Okay. Well, I definitely take it from you. We never miss an opportunity to get a question from you or anything else. Go ahead.
So one of the question is, if the devotee I am aspiring from to take initiation doesn't give initiation, but is only giving only siksha, so what should a devotee in that particular position do?
Well, if you're absolutely sure the person isn't going to give you diksha, then you should find,
yes, no.
Then you can, what you can do is ask that person, who do you recommend I take diksha from? And oftentimes that person who's your Shiksha Guru, who you admire very much and who's helping you, might recommend something. And if he doesn't, then find somebody else yourself who you can find that will, number one, give you diksha initiation, and somebody who's who you respect and you deeply appreciate and feel that can guide you. And you might also ask that, tell that Diksha Guru that I have a Shiksha relationship with this other person, and would that be fine with you? And of course it would be fine, because unless it's somebody who's I don't know, if the person's a known Vaishnav who's giving good instruction, why would anybody object? Did that help?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. That really helped.
Okay. I'm so glad. I didn't want to neglect Alex, because he's staying up late all the way in New York, and he said, could you speak on the apparent paradox of the highest level of spiritual realization being given to the least qualified Kali Yugites? Is this largely due to the Avaduta Bhava of Lord Nityananda and the unlimited compassion of Lord Chaitanya? I think it's very interesting that the most fallen are given the highest reward for us smallest price to pay. Well, the dispensation has so much to do with it. The mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. And Bali Mardana says, please sign up for monthly donors, even $2 per day. Contact Hari Sankirtan and Surya Kun. This has been a message from your sponsors. We thank you very much for joining us for the program tonight. And we'll have a very brief kirtan, because we have to chant the holy names before and after every program. Lakshmi Van Prabhu, thank you very much for joining us. I saw you there somewhere, and it's a real pleasure to have you along, I must say. Are you still there? Not to embarrass anybody.
Yeah, he's there, Prabhuji.
Okay.
And Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Lakshmi. Hare Krishna. Nama, everyone together. Nama Om Shupadaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Śrī Mate Bhaktivinoda Namaste Sarasvati Jaya Śrī Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stotra Śrī Śrīman Abhay Charanaravind Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishwad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stotra Śrī Śrīman Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvati Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavini ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Garadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Mayapur Navdeep Dham ki jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi ki jai. Jamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Vanchakobduruscha kripasindave vacha patitanam pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Nantakoti Vaishnavini ki jai. Can you please unmute and say Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Let everybody unmute.
Amazing.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna. Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Gauranga.
Gauranga. Nityananda.
Nityananda.
Gauranga Nityananda.
I'll say Gauranga, you say Nityananda.
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 Hi, Vaisesika Prabhu. My microphone was off before, so yeah, good to hear you.
Thank you, Upper May, for the broadcast.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Upper May.